I love zucchini. I have made it several different times, stuffing it with all sorts of things. So I'm excited to share this one with you guys. My name is Vanessa and today I am bringing you some zucchini. So I am stuffing it with kind of a Spanish Mexican feel, taco stuffing, one of my family's favorite, and they are so good. So let's get right into them. For these stuffed zucchini boats, you are going to need 4 large zucchinis, 1 can of black beans. You are going to rinse and drain them. Then 1 cup of cooked brown rice. I went ahead and cooked mine in the Instant Pot. Super easy, just takes a little bit. Brown rice always takes a long time. So I put 1 cup of dried rice, which is going to be more than 1 cup of cooked because I wanted a little extra. But with that, I just put it in my Instant Pot with 2 cups of water, and then I cooked it on high pressure for 23 minutes. Now, when my rice was done, there was a lot of liquid left in here, but I knew it was going to be sitting here for a little while while I prepped everything else. So that's why I put a little extra liquid in, because I knew my rice would soak that up. And since I'm putting the rice in the oven and it's going to bake with everything, I just really wanted to make sure that it didn't get dried out or anything like that. So I went ahead and put a little bit of extra water. You really only need probably 1.5 cups if you want it to be ready to eat right away. So other than the brown rice, you also need 1 cup of whatever kind of salsa you want, 1 red bell pepper, half of a red onion, half a cup of corn. I have this frozen bag of corn because I'm using corn for a whole bunch of different recipes. So I'm going to get my half a cup out and let it sit while I prep everything else, and then it should thaw out enough in time when I'm ready to bake them. Also 1 jalapeno. I'm going to be using some olive oil. For seasonings, I'm going to use about 2 teaspoons of cumin, 1 teaspoon of the chili powder. I'm going to put a little salt in there just to taste, and then I'm going to use probably this entire container of cilantro. And the reason why I bought this, not budget friendly, it was pretty pricey. However, my store at the time did not have any fresh cilantro. Like, they were completely out. So this was really my only option if I wanted it to be more fresh and not completely dried cilantro. So I got that. And then I'm also going to be using 1 cup of this Colby and Monterey Jack cheese. This is also something that you could easily switch out to whatever kind of cheese you like. So first up, in my sink, I poured the can of black beans into a strainer, already rinsed them out very well. And then, since my corn is frozen, I went ahead and got out half a cup. I put it in another strainer because as it starts to thaw, I don't want the liquid sitting on the corn. So I want it to just drain down the sink. But while these 2 things are sitting here, I'm gonna go ahead and prep all the produce that are going in these boats. are going to set our oven to 400 degrees. Then I'm going to bake these in a 9x13 pan. This is very, very old. I need a new one. This is at least 8 years old. So I'm going to grease it with this. I've got some olive oil cooking spray. And then you guys saw just a little bit of how I hollowed these out. So I just use a teaspoon. If you have a melon baller, that works better. I just do not have one. My hands hurt. I forget how hard you really have to do this. So I scooped out all the insides, just making them into boats so I can fill them easily. In this little bowl, I have 1 teaspoon of olive oil, and I'm going to brush the tops of them in the olive oil, and then I'm gonna set them the skin side down in my dish. Now that we've got everything prepped and our oven is preheating, I have 1 tablespoon of olive oil in my pan here. I'm going to add my chopped veggies, the onion, red bell pepper, and the jalapeno, and I'm going to cook this. I'll scoop the rest of that out in a second. But I am going to cook this for 2 to 3 minutes, and then we will add some more of the yummy goodness into it. Okay, it's been about 3 minutes. Now I'm going to add in my corn. That is pretty much all thawed out. A few of the pieces still are a little frozen. Also adding my 1 cup of cooked rice. Then I'm gonna add in my 1 cup of salsa, 2 teaspoons of the cumin, and 1 of the chili powder. Going to mix that all together and cook it for 5 minutes. Oops, I almost forgot the beans. Don't forget those. Add those as well. Again, mixing this all together and cooking for 5 minutes. Okay, turning off the heat, and to my mixture I'm adding 1/4 cup of the cilantro. And then you're just going to salt it to taste. I'm just going to lightly go over back and forth like that. Mix this really well. Okay, once it's all mixed together, just like that one, now you're just going to fill your boats. So when I first started making stuffed zucchini, all the recipes say to fill them like on a platter or something and then transfer them to the baking dish, but I don't understand that. So I just went ahead and put them in here, and I'm going to fill them as much as I can. And if anything falls down, that's totally fine, because you could just scoop that up after everything is said and done and it's all cooked up. Okay, my zucchini is all filled up. I wanted to show you guys how much of the filling I had left over, just in case. I never really do that, and I typically always have filling left over, but this makes an awesome lunch. So that's why I made extra brown rice, because I wanted it to be more full. So I'm gonna add my extra brown rice to this and then put it in a little container, and that will be a quick lunch. You could even eat this with chips if you wanted, kind of like a dip, but that's what I'm using that for, because we will eat all of these for dinner. I don't really like reheating zucchini. It just doesn't reheat the same. So whenever we make something like this, we eat it all up and there are no leftovers. So I definitely wanted to make sure I had some more of this for tomorrow's lunch. Okay, the finishing part is, of course, the cheese. So I said about 1 cup. It's really however much you want. I'm just going to sprinkle it my pan because of the size of my zucchini. I would get the largest you can find just because you can fill them more, but this 9x13 pan, mine are little, you know, on the larger size, so I could not fit all of them in a straight line. It's the first time I've ever had that problem. So he's just hanging out over there, making it a little awkward, but I'm just going to spread, or sprinkle actually, the cheese, just little pinchfuls of them on top of each one. That one needs a little bit more because I love cheese. Okay, top it with some foil and bake it in your 400-degree oven for 25 minutes. All right, my 25 minutes is up, but I just wanted to share that I'm also gonna go ahead and broil it for about 5 minutes. So I took the foil off and set my oven to broil. and gonna let that go for about 5 minutes. And then I also added my extra brown rice to my leftover mixture. So this is gonna go in a Tupperware again, and I'm gonna have this for lunch for a couple days. All right, it is so delicious, you guys. This is how it turns out. We have had these before. This is a tried and true. I've made some lasagna zucchini boats before, and then this one I've made a version of like a Mexican inspired one with some shredded chicken in it before, and it's really good. However, my oldest daughter just isn't liking meat, so I opted to not put any meat in it this time, and it's still delicious. So if you guys are looking forward to trying this recipe, give this a big thumbs up. If you have any other suggestions of foods that you would like to have me bring to you guys here on this channel, leave those down below. Subscribe if you are new, and I will see you on Wednesday with an Instant Pot video. Bye guys.